now going to hear from Veronique Martin Lang of Goodyear, talking about data analytics in the tyre industry. And we were just talking about the importance of tyres in Ukraine right now. There's a wonderful Twitter feed that I follow, a guy who works for the US Army in logistics, who is a tyre nerd. And he's following the tyres on the columns that's got stuck outside Kyiv, and their tyres have blown. So poorly maintained tyres may actually win the war. Over to you. No.
Okay, all right, that's better. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to be here today, and I've heard a lot of very good things today. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we do in our tyre industry today and how that is related, obviously, to data science and analytics. I'm the chief engineer of the data science team at Goodyear in Luxembourg, and obviously in charge of anything related to data-driven for at least Europe and Asia. I'd like to get to the next slide. Okay, all right, this is our actually strategy roadmap, right? This is what defines us, what is Goodyear, but also what outlines actually how we're going to win in this market. And we're going to win with our customers, our consumers, but also with our associates and with our shareholders. And you see our goal right at the top, right? Our goal right now is actually to enable mobility. And there are going to be three major elements that you see in those boxes here about how we're going to do that, which is first of all on how we're going to win, which is working at the intersections between the different organizations, be it innovation, operations, but also sales and marketing. How we work, we have 5 core competencies that we want to develop with our associates. And we think that with those core competencies, we will be able to enable them to bring their best, but also be able to deliver towards our strategy. I think this morning we talked about teamwork and how important that is. And you can see in there are actually at least 2 core competencies on that. One about energizing the team, about making sure you bring your best to the team, but also about promoting collaboration, making sure you get the right people in the room when you want to solve a problem and move ahead. And then the third aspect is where we focus. So in order to actually meet our goal of mobility. So very often, and I haven't figured that out yet. Okay, so generally when you think about tire industry, you think about, okay, designing, manufacturing, selling tires. This is exactly what we do at Goodyear, but we want to go beyond. We want to also develop our business once our tires are on a vehicle and are living there. Those are things that wear out, that have certain behaviors, and we want to be part of that ecosystem as well. And that's why you will see here different other activities that we're doing and that are just as important as designing and manufacturing and building our tires. First of all, we want to focus on fleets because we think that's the future, right? You think about fleets for trucks, but think also about tomorrow having fleets for cars where you might not own your own car, but go and get one that is available, right, as you need one. Autonomous, our vehicles are becoming autonomous, and as a tire manufacturer, we want to be part of this because the state of your tire on a vehicle is very important as you're driving, and that autonomous system has to know what's going on at the tire level to make the right decisions when it has to brake, when it has to speed up and take other very important decisions. Obviously, the work gets connected, right? And same thing, we want to, first of all, share the information that we know about our tires with that ecosystem, but we also want to benefit from that knowledge to improve our products. Vehicles become electric. That's a big challenge in what type of rubber and materials we put our tires and how we design them. So that's another challenge. And finally, sustainability. I mean, definitely the tire industry is not the greenest, most eco-friendly industry in the world, right? So we definitely have to put a lot of energy into that as well to make our tires sustainable. All right, so let's dig deeper a little bit into data science. We are actually mainly focusing on the R&D part of our organization. This is where we collect a lot of data, all the data that is lying around in our different systems over the years. Obviously, we have a big impact in this phase environment where we develop intelligence around our tires. We also impact the development of our products and in becoming more and more virtual. And finally, at the factory level, we have a big impact in helping in scheduling our manufacturing process, but also improving the consistency of our products. So in order to do all of that, obviously we need data scientists, right? And some of them actually come from this university, and we're really proud of that. But we had also to expand the team to other roles, like data engineers, like people who know how to visualize data, cloud engineers, because a lot of the technology that we're developing now goes to the cloud. So we've been able over the years to actually build a significant team which is able to deliver those digital products. So let's talk a little bit more into what we do in our virtual product development. So right now, our kind of usual way of designing a tire is by designing a tire, manufacturing it, putting it on a road or in a lab, testing the performance, and we might go back to the design page and start over a couple of times until we reach the performances. That's very often done with finite element analysis models and other physics-based. Lately, we came to the fact that we have a lot of data around us, right? And we want to start leveraging that. So we're getting into that world of enabling our engineers also with data-driven decisions, both in terms of just bringing this data into the hands of the users, but also developing additional prediction models that are generally way faster than our FEA models and that are really going to help them make better decisions. So this morning we talked about dirty data. That's exactly where we are, right? We have a lot generally, but it's not necessarily very clean. So that's definitely a big challenge. Another challenge that we have is that we need our tools to be performing, because we will have 400, 500 users running those tools day in and day out. So we also have to focus not only on finding the right algorithm, the right data that goes with it, but also making sure that the product that we put into the hands of the customer are performing well. And that's where we're also looking into other types of infrastructures like HPC capabilities, cloud, and things of that nature. Finally, in the faces, I still haven't figured that out. Okay, all right. In the faces domain, where we talk about tire intelligence, this is where obviously we put sensors in our tires, which allow us to capture information like pressure, temperature, and we use that information to actually generate alerts for our fleets, so that when the pressure of a tire on your truck goes down, your fleet manager is aware of that. That's typically what we do in our latest product that is called Sightline. And the data science team has been definitely a big player in this product. Our challenges there again is getting the data. Here we're talking about sensor data, which is even more complex than just getting our internal data in one data lake, because there you're talking about transmission, right? I mean, we heard a couple of people talking about transmitting data. We are exactly in that same situation where Well, from time to time, a sensor doesn't transmit anything anymore. So what do you do with that? Do you think that your sensor is dead, or is it your tire that has a problem? So plenty of different questions and challenges just around getting the data in the right place, and then developing the right prediction models that come with that data. And here we're talking about live prediction models, right? And things that impact the safety of your vehicle. So you have to be very precise in developing this algorithm. You have to do a lot of validation so that to make sure that you're actually taking all the different use cases into consideration. So big challenge as well in taking something that sometimes is a proof of concept and making a production version out of it. That can be sometimes a long journey between, yes, we have something that works, to this is something that we can give to an external customer. Obviously, here we're talking about cloud, which means that those are new technologies for, at least for us at Goodyear, to learn. So we also need to get up to speed on those different technologies and make sure that we make the right choices. And yeah, I think that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. So in a nutshell, we have plenty of challenges ahead of us. We have challenges with data quality and quantity. We have challenges in coming up with the best models to predict our performances. And we have challenges in making sure that our algorithms are performing well, because we're going all the way to an end customer. Being internal or external, that product has to be robust and has to live over time, right? And this morning, I remember somebody talking about I think it was one of the first presentations, right, with that metro in New York and then moving it to London. This is a very difficult challenge that we have when you think about developing an algorithm with a certain fleet of vehicles, and all of a sudden you want to move this algorithm now to another fleet. Well, that fleet might have different types of vehicles, right, with different suspensions and you name it. It might run in different weather conditions. It might just have different types of drivers. So all of a sudden your algorithm has to adjust. So we're currently looking at ways to do that effectively and automatically, right? Because we don't want to keep our data scientists busy with just retraining models because it's another fleet. So one of our big challenges, how do we do that? How do we make this model very robust so that we can support many, many fleets in different environments? So in a nutshell, plenty of things. If you're interested in joining us on one of those challenges, we're more than interested to welcome you, either to do some research work, either if you want to join us one day as a data scientist. We would definitely be happy to host some of you and help us with those challenges. Thank you.
Thanks so much. That was terrific. And I wonder, Veronique, because we're in a world where I foresee that we will soon not see vehicle taxes, but we will have mileage, so that the way we will be taxed, whether we drive an electric car or any other car, is by the number of miles we drive. And what work is going on in this whole industry to combine some of the data? Because, you know, if there are sensors on tires, there are sensors on engines, there's a mass of sensors and huge amounts of data. How can that be simplified and aligned so that everybody isn't repeating things which are done before?
I think that's a big challenge. In that world of what is connected, right? I'm not aware of any special, effort in making that together. I know there's a lot of different activities going on in that field, where Goodyear also is trying to take a role and have a seat at the table. But honestly, I'm not aware of anything where we bring things together.
So hands up if you were excited by this talk and by the challenges of Goodyear. Very nicely, look at that. Veronique, very well done. Thank you so much.